Hey, this is Bruce McIntyre with the Oklahoma Parkinson's Alliance, and we want to help keep you informed with big things and relevant things that are happening. If you're a veteran, if you've ever served, we're going to learn a little bit more about that today. And we've got Greg Self with us from Right at Home in Oklahoma City. They do a lot of this work, and so we're gonna kind of go through this and learn a lot more today. So, Greg, introduce us a little bit to you and what you do.
Thank you, Bruce. My name is Greg Self, and my wife, Crystal, and I own this particular Right at Home agency. We've had it for 13 years. We cover the west side of the metro. My wife actually started, and I joined a little bit later, about 5 years ago, right before COVID, I guess. But one of the first things that we did, and it was not a mandate from corporate office, but highly advised, is that we take care of take care of our veterans, take care of our veterans. So that's the first thing we did, was get authorized to be a licensed VA care provider. And over the years, we probably have had 25, 30 a month that we take care of. So we've helped a lot of veterans, and they are precious people to us. And we really enjoy the process and hearing their stories. But our territory is, we also have a territory, we don't know, but there's another territory in Edmond. And there's also another territory, Right at Home territory in Tulsa, and all of them are authorized for VA care. But our office, we're proud of our office, and we've won Best of Home Care for the last 3 years, and we in corporate,
Congratulations.
out of 591 offices this year, we won Best Client Satisfaction of the Year out of 591. So we're really proud of what we do, and it's a culture for us to take care of people, and taking care of our veterans is something that I pride myself on. I didn't serve, but I certainly appreciate the guys that did, and I want to make sure they're taken care of.
Well, I'll tell you what, we can vouch for how much you guys love on people and do excellent work as one of our partners. So we really appreciate that.
Thank
Kind of
you.
tell us some basic veteran stats so we kind of realize what kind of numbers we're talking
All
about.
right. That's a good question. Right now, there's about 20 million veterans in the U.S., retired veterans, not in the military. That didn't count the military. And unfortunately, there's only about 8 million of them that are enrolled in VA care. And so our goal is to, if you're not enrolled, is to help you get enrolled. There's a lot of benefits that you can get, but they always want to go for the big apple, the aid and attendance, the big pension plan. But there's other programs that they can get. Home health aid is probably one of the most popular ones, and it's basically like a home health care, like the Medicare provides. But if you don't ask for it, you won't get it. So that care, there's only like 2% that are asking for the home health aid benefit, or it's also known as community care. And that gets our company and other companies like ours in the home taking care of veterans right away. There's not a
Okay.
lag time, it's a right away. It's a great benefit. And our goal is to make sure everybody knows about it.
Okay. So
And you can't, it's very difficult to go to the website and try to navigate and find it.
yeah.
You don't know
Yeah,
about
it
it, you got
requires
to
some
ask about it.
assistance. Yeah, which is why we're talking to you today to try
Yes,
to
exactly. Thank
demystify
you.
this a little bit. But
Yeah.
I mean, who qualifies
Well,
for?
pretty much anybody that has served in the military, Navy, Army, Air Force, they served their term and they were discharged honorably. And if they were in the National Guard or in the what's the other word? The other word, the reserve,
Reserve?
and they were called up, they certainly can apply for it as well.
Okay.
They have
So
to have an honorable discharge.
okay, yeah. So why do you think more people aren't enrolled in it?
Well, that's a good question, and we've gone through this process with a lot of our veterans, and some of them just don't want to talk about it. Either they've had a bad experience, either during their service, after their service with the VA, or they've gone down to the VA hospital, which has changed a lot over the last 5 or 6 years, and just had a bad experience there. And it's really a complicated process to get all the paperwork gathered, and especially if you're an older fellow, or a woman, and you have dementia issues, it's hard tracking down all the documents that you have to have, all the information you have to provide. So it's kind of variety. I know a couple of gentlemen that are on oxygen walking around in some of the places we go to, and I've approached them and they said, no, my dad had a bad experience there. I don't want to go down there. I'm a veteran. So you got to kind of get over those hurdles with people.
Yeah.
And once they do, the benefits, I'm telling you, Bruce, are fantastic.
Yeah. And we're recording this in the fall of 2024.
Right.
And actually just met. I just had lunch the other day, and there's a new movement disorder specialist for Parkinson's who just started at the VA in Oklahoma City. So it's there are new resources. Things are improving and changing.
Yes.
Um, what are the two programs you work with
Well,
at Right at Home?
there's two basic ones that we work with. One is the aid and attendance, and the other one is a home health aid benefit, which is also known as community care. The hoops and the ropes and the jumps to get into them are a little bit different, but we need kind of the same information. But the benefits are great once you get into it.
Okay. So for aid and attendance, what are the requirements?
Well, for aid and attendance, you have to have served. There's a list of military times going from back to World War One up to Desert Storm, and there are specific war dates. You have to have been in service or been in the theater for 90 days and served at least one day of action. So you kind of got to go through the dates. You got to, if you can, discuss it with your loved one you're helping to get or yourself. If you remember, you got to look at those dates and make sure you qualify because they're really stringent on those dates. They won't wait either way. I mean, you gotta stay right within those dates or they'll disqualify you. And there's a financial part as well. You can't have over $155,000 worth of assets. That doesn't include your home or your cars. Those are discounted from your assets. But so basically, that the aid and attendance benefits is a pension, and it's established to provide people of lower income that need non-military related illnesses after the service. So it's not like disability, which is related to your service. This is for pensions after the service. And it could be because of Parkinson's, MS, Alzheimer's, any terminal illness. All those things would apply when you go through the process of applying for it. So it's difficult, but once you get in and you're approved, the benefits are pretty nice and they're tax-free dollars. So
Okay.
we have a couple of gentlemen. The World War II guys are getting pretty hard to find, but I don't know if you can see that. This is one of my guys. This is 3 World War II veterans that I know that we're taking care of. This one right here. His name is Charleston, and he's under our care, and he's going back in December 16th for the Battle of the Bulge 80th anniversary.
Wow.
He's going back with one of our caregivers, and he's going to do the whole tour. He's going to be there about 2 weeks, and he'll be 101 in December.
Holy moly! Wow.
Yeah, he's a really cool guy, sharp as a tack.
Oh, wow.
So he's fun. He's fun to talk to. So yeah, service dates. And we worked with Sword Financial, Roger Woodrow, and he can look at all your information and tell you up front if it's worth applying for. But they have lawyers that look through your stuff. It's all free to the veteran. Everything is free, all their services. So I work very close with Roger because he's got his contacts inside the VA, and I can provide you all the information. Roger's a good guy. He's 80 years old, sharp as a tack too. He just knows the information inside and out. I really enjoy talking with him.
Okay. So if somebody gets in touch with you, you can kind of help them pre-screen a little.
Yeah,
bit.
what I typically do
this is worth it or not worth it.
Yeah, what I typically do is send them the documents, and I can work with them to look at the dates and look at their assets, and then Roger will go through it with me as well. But it's some of the information you have to get, or if you've been married and divorced, you got to have all your marriage license, all your divorce decrees, and some guys, that could be a lot. And you have to have your DD 214.
Right.
So you got to track that down. And I provide numbers where you can get all that stuff. Social Security information, you have to have your current income. And you also have to provide any other outside income that you are receiving, be it, through annuities, through 401ks, through investments and land that you have. All that has to be listed and is taken consideration for approval.
Okay. Okay. And so we'll try to show this either right here or just kind of at the end of the presentation, what, it's kind of a checklist,
right,
and what the monthly benefits and qualifications are.
Okay, good.
So you can see that at the end of this presentation.
And if you do have, you're over that $155,000 window for the assets, you can create an irrevocable trust with its own social security number, and you can put your information, your assets into that. You still have access to it. People get kind of freaky on it. I can't get to it, but you can. You still have access to it. It's like a checking account. And the military will do a 3-year look back. So it has to sit there for at least 3 years. But if if you're young enough and you qualify for the benefit, it's worth a 3-year wait to get the extra income to come in. It's tax free, and for a spouse and this veteran and the spouse, it's a $27,000 a year tax free pension. So it's a good money.
Yeah, no kidding. So now let's talk a little bit about the requirements for the community care benefit. Tell me about that.
Well, community care is the one that's we talked about it briefly. Out of the 8 million veterans that are in VA care, enrolled in VA care right now, only 156,000 of them are getting the home health aid benefit. And it's because they simply do not know to ask for it. So what the benefit is, if you have issues, non-service related issues, a lot of our clients, Bruce, have Alzheimer's, and we deal with some Parkinson's. We have a gamut of people that we work with and try to help in their home. But if you're suffering for any of those symptoms from those diseases, you can get help at home. And they really need help with, prompting. If it's Alzheimer's, they need help with prompting to take a shower, go to the bathroom, help with their meal preparation. And I know Lewy body is a big Parkinson's related, closely knit disease or, a symptom. So those things, even though that they are, some people think just because you got to prompt them, they don't qualify. But if you have to prompt them to do those things, they do qualify for the home health aid benefit. And it's neat because all you do is if you have a VA primary care physician, it's simple. You have to have an appointment with them, and you go and you take a loved one with you, your POA with you, or a family member, whoever it may be, and you sit I've done it many times. You sit with the doctor and say, look, John's having a hard time in the morning, getting up, getting ready for work, getting ready for the day. He needs help getting his breakfast. He's not doing his laundry. He's not bathing. Sometimes he's incontinent. All of those things, all you have to do is have two of those qualifiers to get the home health aid benefit. So you don't have to have everything. It's not I got to match everything to get the benefit. And the benefit ranges anywhere from 6 hours a week to 40 hours.
Okay, yeah, from 6 hours to 40 hours. Yeah, wow. Okay.
The nice thing about it is you get it for life. It's not like something that's not like a home health benefit from Medicare where you get released from the doctor's office and they're going to help you for a little bit at home because you got an open wound. This is for life. And it's only 9 times out of 10, you're only going to get more hours as you age. So we can do more and more help with you. In fact, if we see as a right at home, because we're an authorized VA care provider, if we see you need help, we can apply to the VA to give you more help.
Okay.
So it's a great benefit.
And when you talk about other help, does that include things like physical therapy or durable medical
occupational therapy, physical therapy, durable medical equipment, beds, wheelchairs, walkers? I've got a guy that has issues with his legs and his feet. He has some heart failure, and I've learned more about feet than I ever wanted to know. But he called me one day. He's one of our clients. Said, "Greg, can you help me buy some shoes?" I said, "Sure." So we went to Academy, but he's got a big dorsal on his foot because of feet swelling, or leg swelling. So one day I stopped at Compton's shoes over here off of 63rd or off of 50th in Portland, and went in there and said, "Look, I got a veteran that needs custom shoes." I said, "Go to the VA and get him an order. We'll make him for him." So we actually went to the VA, got an order for 2 pairs of shoes, and they made custom shoes for him. The VA paid for everything. So there's all kinds of benefits you can get, but getting enrolled is the key. If you're not enrolled, you're not going to get anything. You have to get enrolled into care, and you don't lose any other benefits from private care, private insurance.
And you told us about some of the documents you need to do that, about how many how many hours per week you could expect, 6 to 40.
It depends.
You can't lose it once you're on it.
No, you can't lose it.
So
it's a great benefit. And especially if you're living with MS or Parkinson's or Alzheimer's and your spouse is helping you, they actually give you a little bit more hours for respite care so they can have a life as well. Because, as being doing this for a long time, that spouse is pretty much your caregiver full time. And they need some respite time to have their
you got to take a break sometimes.
You got to take a break. And that helps their whole mental attitude and makes them be a better caregiver. But the
Okay.
required information, what I tell people to do is, and I can email. What I do is I email it to them or tell them where to get it. The government likes to have, we have the 1040 EZ form for taxes. They have the 1010 EZ form for VA care enrollment. And on that form, you need your DD 214, or if you're World War II, you just need your discharge papers. You need your mother's maiden name, birth date, social security, all that information. You do need to know your service military number, which is on your DD 214. And there's about 8 questions to ask about your time served. Were you exposed to any Agent Orange, that kind of stuff? Were you in specific theaters where that was used? And that's another benefit you can get for Agent Orange exposure. And then you have to have some financial information. What's your Social Security income check is, if you have any other income coming in. And then what they do then is if you have medical expenses now, they deduct that away from your income. So they kind of adjust that. But most of the time, out of all the people that we ran through the home health aid benefit or through community care, they always get at least 8 hours a week. And that's just the beginning. And we have some getting 40 hours a week. So it just kind of depends on your age, your medical and your mental condition, and how much help you need.
Okay. Wow. And so when you get this, you're not in danger of losing private insurance or Medicare benefits.
No, you keep all those. You can keep your private primary care physician. You get to keep your if you have any OTPT going on with another healthcare agency at the time, you keep that as well. And that usually expires, and you can start over with the VA. And also, with the VA, you get all the other benefits that you probably wouldn't get from the Medicare.
Okay.
It's a great benefit.
Yeah. Well, Greg, you're such a great partner here in Oklahoma City with just the Parkinson's community, and a great resource. And I know you could talk for 2 or 3 hours about all this stuff, but we just want to give people a little preview and say, look, here's a guy, if you fit this scenario, that can help. And so we'll have your information up here. You'll see that now or in just a moment, of how you can get in touch with Greg and talk with him. If you think that if you're a veteran and you think that this is something that you want to look into. So I hope this has been helpful to you. The Oklahoma Parkinson's Alliance, we have our offices are in Oklahoma City, Tulsa, Lawton. We have close to 90 programs around the state of Oklahoma. Our mission is to inspire hope and transform life for Parkinson patients and families in Oklahoma. We want to be helpful to you. Many of you are veterans, and we know that this information is helpful to you. And as a VA partner, we know that Right at Home and Greg Self right here in Oklahoma City can probably be very helpful. So get in touch with Greg if you feel like you need to follow up. And we hope that this has been a benefit to you. So share this with others that you think this may be helpful to. Greg, thank you for joining us.
I appreciate it. I appreciate you inviting me, Bruce. It's always great to talk about our veterans and how we can help them. They deserve everything they get for the service they provide.
These are the folks that have been in tough situations over the years for the freedoms that we enjoy. And so
they didn't complain about anything. They just did it.
Yeah. So we have great appreciation, and we hope that this is helpful along your way. All right. We'll see you next time. And Greg, thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Bruce.
All right.